Myself Padmaja, Associate Professor, Department of CAC, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Now, today let us discuss about a number of programs using string functions. Now, if you want to use the built-in string handling functions in C language, then you need to use the header file string.h. You need to include string.h in your program, and here I am showing you a list of built-in string functions which is available in string.h. So, what are the popularly used string handling functions? Let us have a look first. So, first one is called string concatenation. So, which will combine or concatenate one string at the end of the other string. Then your string copy, it will copy the string from source to destination. Then similarly string length, string compare, then string reverse, string lower, string upper. These are some of the popular functions which are used in C programming. Now, let us discuss today a number of programs which involves string handling functions. So, let us first switch over to our DevC++, your compiler, and then do some programming. Now, let us start with a simple program that how to read a string and display it on the screen. So, first write down #include stdio.h. So, if you are using any built-in string functions, then you have to write down your #include string.h also. So, here in this program, I do not want to use any built-in string function. So, just I want to read a string and display it on the screen. So, let us start with the structure of the C program. So, by writing the main function, and for reading a string, first you have to declare one character array. So, character, your str of, let us say 100. Now, to read a string, first of all, you need to declare a character array. And let us read it by writing a message, printf, enter your string or enter a string. So, to read a string, you can use the built-in function, your getS or fgetS. So, here first I will use here the getString function. GetString function requires only the name of the character array where you want to store your string. So, I have to write only str. So, where I want to store my string. Then, I'll print the string. The string is %s is the control character for printing the string, followed by the name of the array where the string is available, so which is nothing but str. So let us see how to read and print the string. So, we have written the code, let us execute it. So, save your program, then go for compiling and running your program. So, I have completed the compiling, and whenever you run your program, it is asking you to enter your string. So, I am writing welcome to IARE, which is a string. Now, the string is printed as it is here, that I have read this string and I have displayed this string. Now, if you want to use, instead of your getString, if you want to use fgetS, then how to write up? So, let us put this line into comment and use fgetS. Now, in your operating system, every device is considered to be a file. So, your standard input device and output devices, everything is treated as a file. So, whenever you want to read a string, then fgetS, that get a string from the standard input device, which is also treated as a file. So, fgetS requires your 3 arguments. So, first of all, the name of the array where you want to store this string, and then followed by the size of your string, what is the length of the string you want to store, and from where you want to read, you want to read from the standard input device. Okay, now the same thing, I have saved it. Now compile and run, and let us see the output. So, I am writing my string as welcome to IARE. So, you can see that the output is coming as welcome to IARE. So, these are the 2 ways for reading the string. Instead of this, you can also use the scanf function with the control character %s, and you can read a string. If you want to use a loop and you want to read character by character, a string is nothing but a combination of a composed of a number of characters. So if you want to read character by character, then you can also use for loop and read a string. So there are different ways of reading a string. So throughout today's in all the programs, I am going to use the getString function. So you can use either fgetS or you can use getString, which is the simple string handling function to read a string. Now, let us go for another program where I want to read a string and I want to do some string handling operations like finding the length of the string, then changing the string into uppercase, lowercase, and finding the reverse of the string and so on using built-in string handling functions. So, let us first write down the question. Read a string and find its length, then convert it into uppercase, comma, lowercase, comma, reverse of the string. So, a number of operations can be simplified and can be done easily through the built-in string handling functions. So, for that, let us write down the header files first. So, hash include stdio.h. And as you want to use the string handling functions, write hash include string.h. Okay. Now, first of all, to do these operations, you need to read a string. So, I have written the structure of the main function. Then, first declare one character array to store the string. So, str of 100, for example. Now, read a string. So, how to read a string? So, printf, enter a string. Then, the simplest way to read a string is using getString function. GetString of give the name of the array where the string will be stored. So, string reading part is over. Then, if you want to find out the string length, so let us write down the built-in functions directly. So, write down the length of the string is the length of the string is always the integer. So, %d, comma, write down the built-in function strlen, string length of str. It will compute the string length of str. Similarly, you want to convert this string into uppercase or lowercase, then write down the string in uppercase. So, %s is the control character, then followed by str upr of str. So, str upr is a function which converts the string into uppercase. Next, you want to convert the string into lowercase. So, the string in lowercase is %s, comma, str LWR is the function for converting the string into lowercase. So, str LWR of the string. Then, similarly, you want to find out the reverse of the string. So, you can write down the string in reverse is %s is the control character, strrev is the string reverse function, and give the input as the string. So, it will convert into reverse. So, these are the simplest ways of writing or simplest ways of using the string handling functions to do your operations. So, let us save and run the program. So, first save it as C source file, then go for compiling and running the program. So, when you compile and run the program, it is asking you input as enter a string. So, let me take welcome to IARE. Now, the length of the string is 15. You can count it. The length of the string is 15, including all the spaces and any special character if it is. So, the total length of the string is 15. Then, the string in uppercase, you can see here, and the string in lowercase, and also the string in reverse. So, using the string handling functions, built-in string handling function, doing this string operation becomes easier for you. Now, let us see in our next program that without using any string handling function, how to find out the length of this string. So, before finding the length of the string, let me copy this program. So, our target is to find out the length of the string without using any string handling function. Find the length of the string without using string handling function. So to do this program, up to string reading part is common. Okay. Now I am removing the built-in functions over here. So to store the length of the string, let me take a variable len, which is initially containing 0, and I is a looping variable which will, so using a loop, we will iterate over the string and we will find out the length of the string. Now after reading the string, we have declared one character array and we have read a string. So after reading this, let us write down a loop for finding out the length of the string. So for I is equal to 0, now str of I not equals to null character. Till that time my loop should run, and I plus plus. So by writing these conditions, I am trying to iterate over the string because at the end of the string always null character is there. So from 0th character onwards, the loop will run and it will iterate until it reaches to the null character. Now during iteration, every character I want to count. So I will do length plus plus inside the loop. Now when this loop is over, the length variable will contain the exact length of the string, because when the loop condition reaches to the null character, then the loop is going to stop. So after coming out of the loop, I will print the length of the string. Length of the string is %d, comma, your len is the length variable. So by writing this simple loop, you can find out the length of the string. So let us save it. Now give your input as a string. Welcome to IARE. So the length of the string is 15. So without using string handling function also, you should know how to find out the length of the string. Similarly, you can write down a program for finding the reverse of the string also. Now, what we will do over here? Now, next program will find out the reverse of the string. So, question is, read a string and find its reverse without using the string handling function. Now, up to reading this string is common. So, let me copy paste from the previous program that declare one character array and read a string first. Now, what we want to do, I need one looping variable. So, and I am taking one length variable. So, initially length is equal to 0. Before finding out the reverse of the string, let me compute the length of the string. So, length is equal to strlen, built-in function I am using strlen of the string. So, I am getting the length of the string. Now, write down a for loop. So, for I is equal to the length till I greater than equal to 0, and I will do I minus minus because I have to print the string in the reverse order. Now, how to print the string? So, printf your percentile C, comma, str of I. Now, let us save and run the program. Enter a string here and you can find out the reverse of the string here. So strrep function you can always use to find out the reverse of the string. Otherwise, you can find the length of the string and you write a for loop and print the characters in the reverse order. So this is the logic for printing the string in reverse order. Now let us move on to the next program. Suppose I want to count the number of words present in a string. So how to count the number of words present in a string? Let us see the program. So count the number of words present in a string. So for that, first of all, we need to read a string. So I am reading a string over here and then I have to take a word counter. So let me declare one word counter. Initially, word counter is equal to 0. And let me take one looping variable I. Now, first you have to read a string and then write down a for loop and iterate over the string. So whenever in the string, if any character is a space, then word should be incremented to word plus plus. So it may be a space, it may be your /n, that is your new line character, or it may be a tab also. So whenever you will find these kind of special characters while iterating over the string, then please increment your word counter. So at the end you will get how many words are there in the string. So for iterating over the string, write down a loop. So for I is equal to 0, then str of I not equals to null character, my loop should run till it reaches to the null character, my loop should run, and then I plus plus. So this logic is for iterating over the string from 0th index to the up to null character. Now what you have to do? You need to check that character is that str of I, that character, is it a space? Because between the words there will be a space. So is it a space or is it a new line character or is it a tab? So you can check all these conditions by writing if str of I double equals to space or str of I double equals to, if it is a new line character \n or str of I is a tab \t. If any one of the situation is there, then simply increment your word counter, so word plus plus, you can do it. And at the end, when the string is over, when you go to the next line, you again press your \n, that is your new line character. So after coming out of the loop, once again you do word plus plus. So the last word will be counted, otherwise last word will not be counted. So coming out of the loop, print the number of words present in a string. So write down the number of words present in the string is %d and the value of word you have to display it. Now this is the logic. Now first save the program and then display it. So save it as a C source file, then compile and run. Now, what is the error that you are getting over here? Your empty character. So let us give one space over here and then compile and run again. So now it is asking, welcome to IARE is my string. So how many words are present in this string? It is 3. So you can try with another test case. If my string is Rama is a good student. So how many words are there? It is 5 words are there. Like that, you can test with 2-3 test cases and you can check your output. So this is the program regarding how to count the number of words present in a string. Now, next, let us move to another program that how to compare two strings. So let us write down a program for comparing two strings and check whether the two strings are equal or one is bigger than the other or the one is lesser than the other. So how to compare two strings? To compare two strings, there is a beautiful built-in function called strcmp in C language. So the string comparison is normally done character by character based on their ASCII values. So if the ASCII value of one character is bigger than or greater than the other one, then we'll print that it is the first string is bigger than the second string. So it will do the comparison character by character. So ASCII value comparison it will do. So how it will compare the two strings? Let us write down the program. Hash include stdio.h and I'm going to use the built-in string function string compare. So write down string.h also. Int main function and return 0. First of all, what is your input? Input is to read two strings. So I need to declare two character arrays. Character, suppose S1 of 50 and S2 of 50. So I have taken over here two character arrays to read and I will take one flag variable because string compare function will return one integer. So if the integer value is positive, then the first string is bigger than the second string. If the integer value is negative, then the first string is less than the second string. And if the integer value returned by string compare function is 0, then both the strings are equal. So to store the integer value which is returned by strcmp function, I am taking a flag variable over here. So first of all, let us read the strings. Enter first string. Use getString function to read the strings. It will be always easier. Just give the name of the arrays. Then enter the second string. Then get string of S2. So string reading part is over. We have read two strings. Now use the flag variable and write down flag is equal to strcmp of your S1 comma S2. So both these strings will be compared character by character and string compare function returns an integer. So let us check what is the value that is returned, whether it is a positive number or a negative number or 0. So we will check the flag value. If the flag value is greater than 0, so obviously the first string will be bigger than the second string. So we'll write down printf your first string, that is percentile s, is bigger than percentile s. So first string is nothing but s1, second string is nothing but s2. Else, if the flag is less than 0, then if you will get a negative integer, then the first string is less than the second string. So write percentile s is less than percentile s, comma s1, comma s2. So write down here s1, comma s2. Then put a semicolon over here. If the flag value is neither bigger than 0 or less than 0, then it will be equal to 0. So write down else printf. Both strings might be equal. So percentile s is equal to percentile s, which is nothing but s1 and s2 strings both are equal. So with this simple logic for flag value, we can check which string is bigger than the other string. One string is bigger or reverse. So this is called string comparison. Let us save this program first and run this to see the output. Now let us go for compile and running the program. So you have to enter the first string. Suppose I am entering hello is the first string and the second string is hello but h is capital. So the ASCII value of small h is bigger than the ASCII value of capital H. So we got the output. So string compare function has returned a positive integer. So we got the output hello is bigger than hello. Okay. Now we can go for the another test case to see which string is, if it is smaller than the second one. Now compile and run again. Now this time you will give hello where h is capital and in the second string hello where h is your small letter. So you can see that the capital H, the ASCII value of capital H is less than the ASCII value of small h. So you got that it is less. So that means our program is running perfectly. Now let us see the third test case to check whether the strings are equal or not. So I am entering both the strings exactly same, hello and hello. So we can see that both the strings are equal. Now there is a small change we will do to this program. We will use the function strcmpi to ignore the case. Whenever you will give two different strings, suppose in this example I have given hello and hello, but the capital H and small h ASCII values are different. That's why I got one is bigger, one is smaller and so on. So if I want to ignore the case that is capital, that is your upper and lower case, you want to ignore, but the string is same, then you can use the function strcmpi. So in the same program, just change the function to strcmpi where I stands for ignoring the case. Now let us rerun and check one test case. Now in the first string I am giving hello where h is small letter. In the second case I am giving hello where h is capital letter. Now you can see here it has ignored the case. That means it has ignored the uppercase and lowercase variation. So it is giving me that both the hello and hello are equal. So you can use strcmp or strcmpi for ignoring the case depending upon the application what you are using. So in this program we have learned how to read two strings and compare the two strings using strcmp function. Now let us go for another program where we need to count the number of words, the number of alphabets and digits and special characters in a string. So write down the program as read a string and count the number of alphabets, digits and special characters in the string. One popular example is whenever you want to, you will give a email ID which is a string, then the email ID normally contains the alphabets, digits and all the special characters and so on. So you can take the input as an email ID and you can display that how many alphabets are there, how many digits are there and how many special characters are there. So to do this program, first of all you have to read a string. So write down the header file first. Hash include string.h. Header files I have written. To start with this program, you need to read a string first. Let me declare one character array, character str of 100. I need a looping variable to iterate over the string, so I'll declare int I. Along with that, how many alphabets are there? Let me take a variable alpha, initially it is 0. Then how many digits are there? So let me take digit which is initially 0 and special chars, special ch is equal to 0. So alpha, digit and special chars are the different counters which will be where you will store the number of alphabets, digits and special characters. So first of all, read a string. So printf, enter a string. Get this string using getString function to the character array, that is str. Now what is the logic for finding out or for counting the number of alphabets, digits and special characters? Now we will iterate over the string and we will check each and every character. If it is a alphabet, then we will try to match with the ASCII values of that character or of that alphabet. For digits also we will try to match with your ASCII values, and for special characters we will match. So using the ASCII values, one of the easiest way to do this program. So either you can write down the ASCII values, the equivalent ASCII values, integer numbers, or you can directly write down the ASCII characters there. So first thing is you have to write down a loop to iterate over the string from 0th character till the null character. So for I is equal to 0, I less than or str of I not equals to, till we reach to the null character my program should run. So \0 which is nothing but null character, I have to iterate I++. Now each and every character I need to check with its ASCII value. So if str of I is greater than equals to I have to check whether the alphabet is uppercase or lowercase, is greater than equals to A, and str of I is your less than equal to Z, then obviously it is an alphabet. Similarly, you can check with your capital letters. So write down the same thing again with capital letters. So str of I, if it is greater than equals to capital A. So here there is a mistake. We need to change this to AND. So logical AND we are doing over here, and with str of I less than equals to capital Z. If you want this whole condition, you can put it into another braces also. Okay. So if the character at the ith place is matching with either capital A or small a or capital from A to Z, any of the characters it is matching, then obviously it is an alphabet. So we'll do alpha plus plus. Otherwise, else if it is a digit. So how will you check? If str of I is greater than equals to 0, which is a character, and str of I is less than equals to 9. If it is from 0 to 9, if it is matching with any of the, then we will do digit plus plus. If it is neither an alphabet nor a digit, so we will simply do your special character plus plus. So with this help of this simple logic that we are comparing with the ASCII values from A to Z or from 0 to 9, otherwise if it is neither a alphabet nor a digit, then it will be a special character. Now after this loop, you can print the value of all these counters. So we'll write down number of alphabets is nothing but percentile D, and the variable name is your alpha. Similarly, the number of digits is percentile D, and the variable is digit. Similarly, number of special characters is percentile D, variable is special characters. So the logic of this program is over now, and we can save the program and let us run it. Now let us compile and run. It is asking me to enter a string. Let me give one email ID. Some example email ID I have given, bobby123@gmail.com. So the total number of alphabets is 13, number of digits is 3, and number of special character is 2, which is @ and dot. So the program is coming perfectly fine. So only small mistake in the last line, which is nothing but \n. So let me make it a small letter and rerun the program with another test case. hello123@iari.ac.in. So number of alphabets is 13, number of digits is 3, and number of special character is 3. 1 @ and 2 dots are there. So the program is working perfectly. Now in this program we have learned that how to read a string and count the number of alphabets, digits and special characters in the string. Now let us move on to another program where we will read a string and we will find out which particular character is occurring maximum number of times. So question is, read a string and find the maximum occurring character in the string. So for doing this program, you have to read a string and then check the frequency of each character. So the frequency of a character is maximum number of times it is occurring, then you have to display that particular character is present how many times in the string. So we'll start with the header file #include stdio.h #include string.h. Now let us first read the string. Take one character array, upsize 100. Now we need to check the frequency of each and every character. So let me take one integer array to store the frequency of each and every character. So ch underscore frequency, let me take, and in ASCII character set, 256 characters are there. So let me take the size of this array is 255, and initially the frequency of all the characters, means all the alphabets, is initialized to 0. That means the character array contains initially 0. Now what we will do, we'll take a looping variable and we have to find out the maximum frequency. So let us take a variable called max and take one variable called ASCII. Okay. Now, first of all, read a string. So, printf, enter a string. Then the getString function will read a string over here. Okay. After reading a string, then we will iterate over the string and we will first find out that we'll find out for each and every character what is the equivalent ASCII value, and we will insert into the array. So which are the characters that is present in this string that you have to first insert into its character frequency array. So what we have to do, let us write down how to iterate over this string. So for I is equal to 0, str of I not equals to null character, then I plus plus. So through this loop, what I am trying to do, I want to find out the frequency of each character. So what I want to find out? I want to find out the frequency of each character. Read the frequency of each character. That I want to do. So that's why I want to iterate over the string up to null character. Now, how to find out? Let me find it out whether it is present or not. So I will go for typecasting. Okay. Now str of I. So for each character, first time I is equal to 0. Str of I contains a character. Its equivalent integer it will find out. That is nothing but equivalent ASCII value it will find it out. So that means if that character is present, suppose str of I contains A, capital A. So capital A's equivalent ASCII value is 65. So my variable ASCII will contain now 65. That means in my character frequency array at the 65 location, there is a character available. So what I will do, ch underscore frequency of that position. Okay. I will make it as 1 plus equal to 1. So earlier the character frequency array was containing all zeros. Now suppose your character is capital A. So its equivalent ASCII value is 65. Then in the character frequency array at the 65 location, now the value was earlier 0. Now it will be changed to 1. Okay. Suppose the second character is B. Suppose the string is A, B, C. Okay. Second character is suppose B, capital B. Capital B's ASCII value is 66. So in the character frequency array at the 66th location, it will be changed to 1. Like that, in your string, whichever characters are there, in that character, in its equivalent ASCII value, we are finding out and we are making in that array as 1. Okay. Now, if the same character is repeated again and again, the frequency in that place will be incremented by 2, 3, 4 and so on. Okay. Now, this loop will iterate over the complete string from the beginning to end, and it is checking each and every character and its ASCII value. If it is present, then the frequency will be marked as 1 or 0. So minimum 1 if it is present. If it is present multiple times, then it will be incremented accordingly. Okay. Now, let us take initially the maximum frequency only it is asked in the program. Initially, max value is 0. Now, now we have to check whether a particular character is present how many times. So, maximum frequency we need to count. So, let us This character frequency array is now containing the frequency of each and every character. Okay. Now we will run the loop 255 times, that means 0 to 255, which is nothing but the size of the frequency array, and we will check which is maximum, which character is maximum. So for I is equal to 0, I less than 255 and I plus plus. So what we are going to do? We are going to check if that character I is not equals to 32. 32 is nothing but the ASCII value for space. Okay. If it is not a blank space, then what you are going to do? Then you check what is its frequency. Is it bigger than the max frequency? If it is not, then change that frequency to max. So if CH underscore frequency of that character, if it is bigger than CH underscore frequency of your max variable, initial max variable is 0, you know that. So if any character's frequency is bigger than max, then interchange it, max is equal to I. Okay. Now let us write down these two statements inside the loop. Sorry, not inside the loop, it is inside the if condition. So this process will be repeated. This process will be repeated to check the frequency. Suppose that character comes again, then if it is greater than max, then max is equal to I. This will be repeated. Now, by doing this process for all the characters, you will get the maximum frequency. So let us print it at the end. Printf, the highest frequency or the maximum frequency of character. Which character? Percentile C appears or is percentile D times. Okay. Now you can just put this line. It is a comment line. So let us keep inside this double quotes. The maximum frequency of character percentile C is percentile D times. Okay. Comma. What are the variables? Variable is your max variable and CH underscore frequency of your max. Okay. Now let us save and run the program. Save it as C source file. Now enter a string. Welcome to IAI. Suppose let me take all small letters. So the maximum frequency of the character E is present 3 times in this string. So you can check it out with this test case. Let me run it again for another test case. Rama is a good programmer. Which character is having more frequency? Let us check in this string. So A is having more frequency and it is available 4 times in this. So you can check it is available 4 times in this string. Now today we have discussed a number of programs regarding string handling, how to do it in C program, how to read a string and how to do the operations on strings. Thank you so much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.